Hi everybody, this is a video response primarily to Veritas and his video asking for video responses from atheists, arguments from atheists against the existence of God. It's also a video response to DawahFilms and Telemantros, the three of them together. They call themselves the Argent Dawn, or something. Is that World of Warcraft? Something like that anyway. It's a video response to those three. Now what they've asked for then is these arguments against the existence of God. Most of the arguments that they're going to get, 90% of the arguments they're going to get, are going to argue against God from specifically one of his characteristics, or his purported characteristics. This isn't going to argue from a characteristic of God, it's going to argue from the existence of a characteristic of you and I. Specifically, what I'm arguing is that we do not possess an immaterial, immortal soul. There is nothing to judge after our death. There is nothing to go to heaven, nothing to go to hell. I don't have as much time to make this video as I'd hoped to, so I can't give you different quotes from the Bible, from the Quran, from the Hadith, from the New Testament that back the way in which these two religions, these two faith positions, inextricably rely on this notion of an immaterial soul that exists after our death. I can't do that, unfortunately. What I can do is just to clarify a few things. What I'm not doing is making an argument against the existence of souls. What I am doing is making an argument against us possessing a soul. You know, it's very difficult to make an argument against the existence of unicorns because they could exist in a dim and distant galaxy. What we can do is make an argument that we don't all have unicorns as pets and carry them round with us. Let me make that distinction then. The argument is that we do not possess, we are not controlled by, we are not linked to an immaterial, immortal component which exists after our material death. So the first question I have to ask you then, before we move on to any evidence, is what is your position on this argument? Do you accept that if I could prove this to you, if I could prove that we did not have this component, that your religion would be in the shit, that it really would be in a very, very bad place, that it would be hard, it would be untenable for your religion to carry on in its present form? That's a hypothetical question. If I could provide you with absolute proof, what position would your religion be left in? Okay, so let's move on from that hypothetical realm then and look at the actual evidence and the strength of evidence. I'll say quite up front, I cannot provide enough evidence to prove that we do not have an immaterial, immortal soul. But I'm never going to be able to do that. There's no amount of evidence in the universe that will prove something in an absolute sense. But I think I can make a pretty strong case. So I would like you to look at the evidence. I'll link the video up here so you can have a look at the video. If you're a regular even subscriber of mine, you'll already have seen the video. If you haven't, I ask you to look at the video. I can't make the evidence here because there's too much. I can't fit it in. I only just fit it into an 11-minute video as it was. There's lots of different types of evidence there. It's a large bolus of evidence that I'm asking you to consider. This is the question, because this is a balance of evidence argument we're talking about here. If I can provide more evidence than you can, then my suggestion is that your position is untenable. For you to maintain the position you do, then your position is untenable, unless your answer to question one was, well, it actually doesn't matter if we don't have an immaterial, immortal soul. My religion will just carry on as if there's no problem whatsoever. Well, unless that is the case, it needs to be a balance of evidence. So I want you to watch the video, I want you to watch the evidence, and then I want you to come back and I want you to consider that evidence, and I want to know, can you redress the balance of evidence with sufficient arguments of your own in favour of us having an immaterial, immortal soul, or can you counter the arguments I've made to such a degree and in such number as to nullify the argument that I've made? Well, have a look at the video, see what you think, and I hope that you get back to me. So thank you everybody for watching this video. Thank you to the members of the Argent Crusade or the Lightning Dawn or whatever it was. And let's carry on with this project. I'm sure it's going to be very exciting. Take care everybody. Bye.